We are back. It is finally here. Election Day. I didn't think it was ever going to show up, but it's here. It's Tuesday, the 5th day of November, 2024. I am Dan Kuntz. Thanks for starting your day with us. Clear skies, 42 degrees. That big wind event from yesterday afternoon and last night didn't really happen. It kind of just petered out. It just didn't really happen. In fact, we had that high wind warning and they canceled it, essentially. They were going to let it expire at 7 o'clock this morning. Instead, last night, they just said, never mind. It happens. The strongest wind that we had, again, this is all measured and with a little caveat here. The weather station, the official weather station, to keep all the statistics and where the temperature is and the wind gauge and the relative humidity and all that stuff, that's all up at Payne-Bourne Memorial Airport. It's an automated weather station because you have to put it someplace, so that's where they have it. The highest wind yesterday at Payne-Bourne, sustained wind was 25 miles an hour. The strongest wind gust we got was only 35. It was supposed to be a lot stronger than that. It just it didn't happen. And now it's out of here. It's on its way to Montana. That deep low pressure that brought us the rain, significant snow to the upper elevations. Passes got hammered pretty good. If you go outside and look around, especially in the west side of the Wenatchee Valley towards the Cascades, you'll see snow there. It's gone. It's out of here. We're going to have a lot of sunshine. Temperatures about normal. Overnight lows pretty chilly. A very pleasant, quiet, benign rest of the week. And then just in time for the weekend on Friday, the rain returns, the clouds return. Bring on the rain. I have no problems with that. It's going to feel like November by the time we get to the weekend, but we're not there yet. Forecasts coming up, as is the news on this Election Day 2024. I can't tell you, I'm so glad it's here. It just seems like a slog every year. Anyway, what do I know? Sports, of course, Seahawks heading into their bye week, and boy, do they need one. Mike McDonald had his weekly press conference with the Seattle Seahawks beat writers. Talk about what the heck is going on. We'll have that. Of course, we'll also have some playoff previews for you coming your way. And speaking of sports, Austin Drade back here live in our studio in the back half of the program to talk about Wenatchee Wild hockey. They split over the weekend. They lost to Everett on Friday, but they beat Edmonton on Saturday and beat them good. We'll talk Wild hockey with Austin in the back half of the program, and all the usual shenanigans apply. Our tour begins at just about 3 minutes after the hour, and as you can see, lots of clear skies. We had a little bit of rain, not very much yesterday, as we sit at 42 degrees. Now, the overnight lows are going to start getting really cold. It's going to be dry and quiet, but there's going to be some folks in our viewing area. You're going to see overnight lows down into the 20s, especially to the north of us and in those small valleys where the cold air can get trapped. And then, of course, as I mentioned already, unsettled weather for the weekend. Yesterday, we hit 54, normal high is 49. And again, a little bit of rain, not too much. I think we had 5/100 of an inch. We'll take what we can get right now. Sunrise this morning was about 15 minutes ago, 6:51. Sunset tonight, 4:37. That's 9 hours and 45 minutes of daylight. Let's head on up to the Billy Go camera. And this is about as good as it gets. This is a beautiful view. Looks like a little snow up on Billy Go Way, but most of the Okanagan and Omak area looks like really bereft of snow. They had a little more wind than we had yesterday, but still, it's just a gorgeous morning up there. We have that panned a little bit more to the east than to the north. Just a stunning view up there in the Omak Okanagan area. Good morning to Pateros. I haven't visited Pateros in a while. That's my bad. You want to see some snow? Here's some snow. The Lake Wenatchee camera. Yeah, you can actually see the snow line right there. Looks like Dirty Face got a pretty good dusting of snow in the mountains behind the White River Valley. Got a pretty good dusting of snow. I'm pretty sure tee times at Kaler Glen not available today. It's an accurate guess, but they might be done for golf altogether up at Kaler Glen. If they're not, somebody call and correct me on that one. And down to the Wahatas camera, where you won't see any snow at all. Just lots of sunshine and a few high clouds. Again, that deep low pressure system that was responsible for all that crazy weather yesterday is already on its way into eastern Montana. So we're going to see the winds die down to almost nothing. And all in all, things pretty quiet from Mother Nature's department. Again, that big wind event that just didn't really happen yesterday, which was fine by me. I was afraid to lose some power and have my garbage can down the block. Didn't quite happen. From the National Weather Service, here's a forecast I think you'll probably like. Lots of sunshine today, right around 54, 55. That's a little bit above normal. 49 is our normal high temperature this time of the year. Some residual gusts this morning, a couple of rogue winds possible as the last of this system rolls on out of here. And then we start talking about some pretty chilly overnight lows, 31 for the overnight low tonight. It's going to be clear. Lots of sunshine, shorter days, less ambient sunlight hitting the earth because the days are getting shorter, so we'll only get to about 50 for the high on Wednesday, 31 for the overnight low Wednesday night. Thursday, about 50. Lots of sunshine, 36 for the overnight low on Thursday night. And then here comes system number 2 this week. It'll start rolling in on Friday night. Friday during the day, most of the day, it's going to be fine. Quite a bit of sunshine at high 52. It's Friday night after the sun goes down where the clouds will roll in. The chance of rain hovers at about 50% Friday night. We'll get down to about 37, so there could be some playoff football games that might get a little wet. Saturday, rain for everybody. A 70% chance of rain and a high of 51. Saturday night, 50% chance of rain. Low of 36. Chance of rain goes up to 60% on Sunday. Looks pretty wet and pretty cloudy. Temperatures just about normal. Sunday night, rain. And unfortunately, Monday for Veterans Day, it looks like it may rain on the Veterans Day parade. Right now, the forecast calls for rain likely on Monday for Veterans Day and a high of 49. So lots of sunshine. Very moderate temperatures, just about normal for the rest of the week, and then the rain rolls in Friday, and it's going to hang around right through Monday, it looks like. That's your forecast when we come back in the news. You're watching an Election Day edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Enjoy the sounds of summer from your very own pool and spa. Blue Lagoon is now scheduling pool installations for this summer. Call today to schedule a free consultation for a custom San Juan fiberglass pool. And let the experts at Blue Lagoon handle the construction, installation, and regular maintenance. Turn your boring backyard into vacation paradise this summer with industry-leading San Juan pool. No need to go off the deep end. Relax knowing you're in great hands with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
I'm Jim Heinlein, and I've been working with you all for about 20 years now. And it's safe to say I've seen most every situation as it relates to annual election period. This AEP is going to be like a tsunami. It's not tall, but it's huge in effect. And when the water retreats, you're going to see the damage to those who didn't react properly. So what is a proper reaction? Well, call a local insurance professional like Springwater Insurance. We have already developed a strategy for those of you who need a change. Give us a call at 509-888-2600.
Outside of a couple of high clouds, we got quite a bit of sunshine. It's 42 degrees here in the big city, right around 50 with lots of sunshine. We'll do it again on Wednesday and Thursday and most of Friday. And then another system rolls in Friday. It looks like it's going to be pretty cloudy and pretty wet for this upcoming Veterans Day weekend. 9 minutes after the hour, the Douglas County Elections Office wants to make the process of ballot handling more transparent for the public. To that end, Auditor Thad Duvall is inviting residents of Douglas County to sign up to view the processing of ballots at the Douglas County Courthouse in Waterville all throughout the day tomorrow. Of course, 8 o'clock tonight is the deadline to get your ballot to your local elections offices, and tomorrow's viewing is meant to show how your votes are handled, verified, and counted, as well as all the safeguards that are in place to ensure accuracy. If you want to do a tour, you got to sign up. It's RSVP. They're available at 10 a.m., 12:15 tomorrow, and 2 o'clock. It's organized through the Interfaith Justice Coalition. But again, you must RSVP online to reserve your spot. We have a link on our website at ncwlife.com. Well, it is an historic election year, but that doesn't mean voter activity in Chelan County has been historically high. Back at this time in 2020, about 68% of all the ballots had already been turned into the Chelan County Auditor's Office. This year, The most recent count is just under 50%. Chelan County Auditor Skip Moore visited with me on yesterday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. He said there could be a number of reasons for the difference between the two elections.
The only thing I can figure is possibly more people are using the mail, which is making a longer process, or longer to get to our office. We still there's been great turnout at the drop boxes. We've been cleaning those. We've been getting a fair amount of mail. It's just across the board, it's just been a slower return. And that's difficult to figure out why folks are waiting. I don't know if it's issues on the ballot that are making them wait. It's a large ballot, I'll give you that. But yes, we're trending about 10 points lower across the board, which is going to mean if we hold up to past turnout, which we probably will, I think we're going to get to that 86, if not even a little bit higher percent turnout. Well, that means I've got roughly 30%, or for us, that's 15 to 18,000 ballots that are going to be coming through the door today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. We probably won't even process tomorrow. We'll process today and get as many of those in the system and into the count for Tuesday night. Tuesday ends up being a day of supporting all the people that come into the poll site to register or to get a replacement ballot, those type of things. So that's the part where Tuesday's going to be crazy. We probably won't process because of that. Today we'll be just trying to get as many of the ballots, the signatures checked and verified, and then get them into the system and tabulate for Tuesday night.
Governor Jay Inslee has activated some members of the National Guard ahead of tonight. In a letter to Major General Gent Welsh on November 1st, Inslee said he wanted to ensure protection and preparation in case of any civil unrest related to the election. The letter noted that incident that occurred back on October 28th, that's when an incendiary device was set off in a drop box in Vancouver. It damaged a few hundred ballots. Inslee directed the National Guard to be on standby status to provide support to local law enforcement and the Washington State Patrol if needed. The temporary activation began yesterday and will last for the rest of this week. Well, the sudden arrival of winter in the Cascades meant complications for rescuers trying to reach a group of stranded hikers. The all-volunteer Chelan County Mountain Rescue Team says it was called Friday night to help 6 backpackers who got disoriented by a snowstorm at Lake Vivain. That's in the Alpine Lakes Wilderness. Rather than deploy at night, the team advised the campers just to hunker down and camp until the morning, and that's when a group of mountain rescue volunteers set out to assist them. About 2 feet of snow was on the ground as the team helped the hikers down from the high lakes via the Snow Lakes Trail. Backcountry users always reminded to be aware of the changing weather and have the gear that you need with you just in case. Work began this week on improvements to the Apple Capitol Loop Trail along Worthen Street. Last month, the City of Wenatchee approved a $345,000 contract to beautify the trail section between Thurston and Hale Park. Now, among other steps, the project will help separate trail users from vehicles passing along Worthen. Also going to add overhead lighting for nighttime use. The 1/3 mile section is currently under a detour, so all trail and street traffic is being rerouted to the western side of Worthen Street until the project is done, which should be by the middle of this month. The Cascade School Board has been recognized by the Washington State School Directors Association for the 2nd year in a row. The board earned the title of School Board of Distinction for 2024, which they were also honored with in 2023. The Board of Distinction program recognizes a board's commitment to visionary leadership, effective governance, and strategic advocacy for students. Cascade's school board is currently made up of Trey Isling, Cindy Garza, Judy Durpak, and Dr. Mike Warden. There is one open seat on the school board. The board will be recognized by the School Directors Association on November 21st. And the Opportunities Industrialization Center of Washington, it's called the OIC, has been awarded $2 million by the Washington State Department of Commerce. OIC is a Yakima-based nonprofit that focuses on economic development and career training. They also have an office here in Wenatchee. The grant money will benefit 9 counties, including Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanagan. It'll help fund business startup and expansion. The Department of Commerce announced nearly $40 million in grants to 19 organizations statewide. The awardees provided support to their communities through the Community Reinvestment Project. That's a plan designed to uplift those disproportionately harmed by the war on drugs. That's the news, a quarter after the hour. Yes, it's going to be a busy news day and a busy news night, as you might imagine. And we will have the news coming your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. 5, 6, and 10 on TV. If that doesn't work in your schedule, don't worry about it. It'll be up and running on our homepage, NCWLIFE.com. You can watch the news via our YouTube page. A lot of people do. Through our Facebook page, a lot of people do. So the news is ready for you right around 5 o'clock Monday through Friday. And if there's something out there that you think might be newsworthy, don't hesitate. Send us an email. Couldn't hurt. Our email address is news@ncwlife.com. Seattle Seahawks and Seattle Kraken have hit some significant bumps in the road. By significant, I mean big. Sports is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Want to stay up to date on the latest news in the area? Tired of paying for your news? Download the NCWLIFE app now. No subscriptions necessary. Get news, weather, sports, and more live as it happens. Available for iPhone and Android in the App Store. Local news at your fingertips. Don't miss the stories that matter to you. Stay connected. Download the NCWLIFE app now.
Need a break from reality? Central Washington Water has a showroom full of possibilities. Ask about a saltwater system for a more natural approach to water care. They use less chemicals and have less maintenance. Free-flow plug-and-play spas make it simple and affordable to get you soaking. At Central Washington Water, there's a hot tub for every space and every budget. Central Washington Water, your water care professionals.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Welcome to Boswell's, where you'll find quality furnishings for every room in your home. Customers ask, do you have solid wood options? Yes, they do. Bamboo, maple, acacia, cherry, mahogany. With 2 floors of quality furniture and complimentary design services, Boswell's design team can create a home that's uniquely yours. For almost a century, people have chosen Boswell's for their quality and customer service. Boswell's Furniture, it's closer than you think.
18 minutes after the hour, the Seattle Seahawks enter their bye week still looking for an identity. Who the heck are we? They have 9 games in the books. There are 8 more games to play following Sunday's overtime loss to the Rams. Seahawks have lost 4 straight at home, 5 of 6 overall. They're now in last place in the NFC West. Granted, there is only 4 teams. Seattle is 0-2 in division play, 1-4 in conference play. Coach Mike McDonald told the press in his weekly visit yesterday that it's no secret that the Hawks need to improve if they hope to make the playoffs.
Again, it's like you're disappointed, you're frustrated in a game that we felt like we should have won to a certain extent. You got to give the Rams credit for taking advantage of the opportunities that were given to them. We did not, and we have to clean those things up. So, but we have an opportunity here this week to attack the heck out of this bye week. It's going to, our players get a chance to really recover and take care of their bodies. And coaches wise, we got some work on our hands to go attack this thing and really continue to streamline what we're doing, how we're coaching it, what we're trying to get done, and have a great plan for next week so we can really hit the ground running on Monday and ramp into the second half of the season, which is critical for us because we got to start producing better results. Everybody knows that, and onward we go. But we got a big week ahead of us. It's not where we want to be. It's not where we expected to be. But I feel like we are I think we're resilient as heck. I mean, our guys, you can just go week by week on the adversity that we faced. A lot of it is self-inflicted adversity, And great football teams don't do that. They eliminate drag. They go they go forward fast together. We're going together. We're just not going fast, right now. So it's our job as coaches to really eliminate that drag and make it clear for the guys. And we might, like I said last night, you got to go into these things with mentality that everything's kind of on the table, So that's you got to go with an open mind, open your lens up a little bit, and go back to work. So, but our guys we'll talk to them here in a minute. We'll meet today, and then we'll move forward.
If there's any team that needs a bye week, it's the Seahawks. So they're off this Sunday. They will be down in Santa Clara to take on the 49ers 1 week from Sunday. Speaking of teams that are struggling, the Seattle Kraken aren't playing particularly good hockey right now. Of course, they started 4-2 on the year, which was the best start in team history. Since then, they've lost 6 of 7. They're currently on a 5-game road trip. They wrap it up tonight in Denver, taking on the Colorado Avalanche. That'll be at 6 o'clock tonight on Kong TV. All right, for the smaller schools, the playoffs have already begun. For the bigger schools in volleyball and in soccer, it starts tonight. Moses Lake will welcome Eisenhower in the District 5 4A tournament. Lions Field and Moses Lake, 6 o'clock tonight. Eastmont welcomes Davis to Wildcat Stadium tonight at 6 o'clock. If you lose, you're done. If you win, you'll play the loser of the Wenatchee West Valley game. Wenatchee West Valley will play for the District 5 4A soccer championship on Thursday night. In the smaller schools, they've moved on to the next round. It's a combined 5 and 6 tournament. District 5 and District 6 play each other. Cascade welcomes Keona Benton tonight, and Royal welcomes Wahluke. Again, lose and you go home. Of course, Cashmere has already punched their ticket to the championship match. They will take on Natchez Valley in Royal Thursday at 5 o'clock. Can't forget about volleyball. Same scenario. Lose and you're done. Eastmont will be at Moses Lake tonight at 6 o'clock. Eisenhower at West Valley on the volleyball court at 6 o'clock. The winners move on. The losers are done. Wenatchee, of course, will take on Davis for the District 5 4A tournament in their main gym Saturday at noon. And yes, we do have soccer on Thursday night. It'll be on Facebook at 6 o'clock. This is for the District 5 championship. Of course, Wenatchee went undefeated in Big 9 play, and now it's for the championship and a guaranteed berth at state. West Valley and Wenatchee. The handsome and talented Sebastian Moraga and the even more handsome and more talented Matt Wiesen with the call. We'll have it for you on Facebook at 6 o'clock on Thursday. We'll have it on TV on Friday. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 22 minutes after the hour, and I did my research for the obscure holiday, I thought, didn't we already have a National Donut Day? Wasn't that back like in June? Well, it turns out there are 2 National Donut Days, and I'm all for that. Maybe there should be like 7, because the one back in June is National Donut Day, but donut is spelled D-O-N-U-T. Today is National Donut Day, with donut spelled like dough and then nut. So today is National Donut Day today. Indulge if you shall. I love a good donut. Who's killing who? Nobody knows for certain when donuts were invented. There's no real history of donuts. Don't really care. They are mentioned as far back as 1809. Washington Irving, who wrote the book The History of New York, from the beginning of the world to the end of the Dutch dynasty, he wrote the book, and he was the first one to actually mention a dessert called donuts in that book back in 1809. Keep in mind that the book that Washington Irving wrote, which was the history of New York City up to 809, is, well, it's a pack of lies. He basically made it up. He just made it up out of whole cloth. But he did mention the word donuts, so we'll give him credit for that. It's actually a pretty entertaining book. It just doesn't happen to be true. National Donut Day today. Today in history, of course, we're doing presidential elections. 152 years ago today, one of the more interesting elections, November 5th, 1872, President Ulysses S. Grant is reelected. He defeated the Republican nominee, Horace Greeley, 286 electoral votes for Grant. Greeley got none. 0. Now, how does this happen? Well, he actually won. Horace Greeley won 66 electoral votes in the election of 1872, but he died on November 29th. That was before the Electoral College met to cast their votes. So the electors who were pledged to Greeley were free to vote for whomever they chose because Greeley was dead and they chose nobody. So Grant won in a shutout, 286-0 on this state 152 years ago today. The hotly contested, bitterly contested election of 1912, 112 years ago today. Democratic Governor Woodrow Wilson of New Jersey unseats incumbent Republican President William Howard Taft and former President Theodore Roosevelt, who ran as the Bull Moose nominee, the Progressive Party. Roosevelt remains the only third-party presidential candidate in our history to finish better than third in the popular or electoral vote. How'd you like to be William Howard Taft? You're the incumbent and you finished third. This was not good. Of course, Wilson, Roosevelt, and Taft would all either serve as president or would become president. Woodrow Wilson was just one of two Democrats to serve as president between the Civil War and the Great Depression. And maybe this was a harbinger for poor William Howard Taft, his running mate in this election of 1912. The vice president, Jim Sherman, died less than a week before the election, so Taft didn't even have a running mate. In Chelan County, 39% of the vote went to Theodore Roosevelt. 26% of the vote in Chelan County to Woodrow Wilson. William Howard Taft got 19%. We don't have any statistics for Douglas County for the presidential election of 1912. 84 years ago today, November 5th, 1940, the incumbent, the Democrat President Franklin D. Roosevelt, defeats Republican businessman Wendell Willkie to be reelected for an unprecedented third term. It never happened before. The electoral count, when it was all said and done, 449 for Roosevelt, 82 for Wendell Willkie. In Chelan County, Wendell Willkie, the Republican, got 52% of the vote. Roosevelt got 47%. But in Douglas County, FDR won by 13 votes in the 1940 presidential election. The 1968 presidential election was held 56 years ago today. The former Vice President of the United States, Richard Nixon, defeats the Democratic nominee, Vice President Hubert Humphrey. The electoral vote, 301 to 191. Alabama Governor George Wallace ran on the American Independent ticket, basically segregation now, segregation forever. George Wallace won 5 states, all in the Deep South. He got 46 electoral votes. He remains to this date the last third-party candidate to win an electoral vote. In Chelan County, it was heavily Nixon. It was 53% for Nixon, 40% for Humphrey. Wallace got 8%. In Douglas County, Nixon got 49% of the vote, so less than half. Humphrey got 10%. No, Nixon got 49%. Humphrey got 41%. Wallace got 10% of the vote in Douglas County. And 28 years ago today, incumbent Democratic President Bill Clinton defeats former Senator Bob Dole, the Republican nominee, and Ross Perot. We remember him. The final electoral tally, 379 to 159. Turnout for the 1996 presidential election, 49%. The lowest for a presidential election since 1924. People just didn't bother showing up. Clinton was the first Democrat to win re-election to the presidency since FDR, and the first Southern Democrat to win re-election since Andrew Jackson in 1832. Locally in Chelan County, Bob Dole got 52% of the vote. Bill Clinton got 36% of the vote. And Ross Perot got 10% of the vote. And it was exactly the same in Douglas County. 52% Dole, 36% Clinton, 10% Perot. The 1996 presidential election. All of our birthdays today, our celebrity birthdays, are heavenly birthdays today. She played Lovey Howell on Gilligan's Island, Natalie Schaefer. Now, you watch Gilligan's Island and you think, okay, her television husband, Jim Backus, and Natalie Schaefer, they played husband and wife. They were probably about the same age. Natalie Schaefer was so vague about her age. She was so secretive. Even her husband didn't know what year she was born. It was commonly thought that she was born in 1912. It wasn't until after she died when it was discovered that she was born in 1900. She was actually 13 years older than Jim Backus. I mean, her husband didn't even know. I mean, her friends were like, she was born with 1900. Didn't make a lot of money with Gilligan's Island, but the money that she did make, she made very smart investments in California, Southern California real estate. So when she died in 1991, she was a multi-millionaire. And in her last couple of years, Natalie Schaefer lived with Don Wells. Yeah, who played Mary Ann. Don Wells was Natalie Schaefer's caretaker during the last few years of her life. The legendary Vivien Leigh, born in the state in 1913, she, of course, won 2 Academy Awards, both for Best Actress, Gone with the Wind and A Streetcar Named Desire, and she deserved them both. Vivien Leigh, the British actress, born in the state in 1913, died in 1967. And we lost Bill Walton, of course, not long ago. He died in May at the age of 71. Bill Walton, born in the state in 1952, in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, considered one of the greatest collegiate basketball players of all time, and a pretty interesting character. We miss Bill Walton. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. If you have a sizable house and it's an older house, you might have those situations where one room is really cold and the room right next to it is really hot, especially if your house is older and the HVAC system was retrofitted. If you have a new house, it's really not a problem. Either way, if that is a problem, you want to give Alpine Air a call, and it's not too late to have your entire heating system given the old checkup from Alpine Air before it gets really cold. And this is North Central Washington. It will get really cold. Still to come, Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, when he goes to the grocery store, he'd like it if there's somebody in the checkout stand. He's not a big fan of self-checkout. We'll get to that. And then Austin Drade will be joining me live. Time to talk wild hockey on this Tuesday. He's coming up next in studio. You're watching Mike up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Right now at Les Schwab, it's the deal you've been waiting for, the Score More sales event. Save up to $160 instantly on a wide selection of 4 tires and 4 wheels. Plus, every tire is covered by America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Because nobody stands by their tires like we do. It's a better deal on better tires with the best service in the business. Get more from Les.
This is the time of year we celebrate family, traditions, and great food. At Abby's, our legendary pizzas are so giant that they feed up to 6 happy family members. When you need a break from cooking, think Abby's. Our place or your place. Our family is here for your family.
The Triple Topper's back!
This November, what makes Abby's Triple Topper so great? It's the pepperoni, Canadian bacon, and ground beef toppings piled to the edge. It's a whole lot of pizza at a very special price. Order your Triple Topper at abbys.com.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, retail businesses, if you're not doing too well, here's a tip. I believe the concept of retail is that a business wants people to come into said business and exchange their money that they have in their pockets for the merchandise the business has on its shelves. Okay, fine. But there's an important part. This exchange occurs at something called a checkout stand or a cash register. Now, this is the point, right? A customer takes your stuff and gives you money. Now, wouldn't it therefore make a whole lot of sense to actually have sufficient people, sufficient number of employees at this place where this exchange is supposed to take place so the potential transactions can actually occur? Doesn't that make sense? Don't you wish that these transactions could occur within a reasonable period of time? I mean, come on, in my limited perspective, that's what I think is a good idea. Now maybe consider it. Have people at your check stands. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
If your chair is comfortable and still fits, don't toss it. Reupholster it at Wenatchee Upholstery. The sky is the limit. From new upholstery in your favorite car to upgrading your seats in the boats. Everything old can be new again when you call Joe. Personalize your golf cart, grandma's chair, your favorite bar stool. Trust your treasure with Wenatchee Upholstery. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air. When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Welcome back to the program. It's time to talk wild hockey with a guy who knows more about wild hockey than I do. We always bring in the experts. I'm part of the, if you don't know what you're doing, you call in somebody who does. I follow the Wenatchee Wild because I like the Wenatchee Wild. This guy follows the Wenatchee Wild for 2 reasons. Number 1, he likes the Wenatchee Wild. Number 2, they pay him. And he's the voice of the Wenatchee Wild. He's Austin Drade. He is back live in Studio 6 today. Should we call it Studio 6?
6A.
6A. That works for me. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Have you voted?
I have.
Oh, well, here. Have a sticker. I got more. There you go. Congratulations. Who did you vote for? I'm just kidding. That's a rude question.
Was it Michael Jordan who said Republicans buy sneakers too?
I think
it was.
It might have been. And you, by the way, bear a striking resemblance to his airness. The less we talk about Friday, the better. We lost to Everett. 5-2. Man, the Silver Tips are good. They are just they're if we're not careful, they're going to run away with this division real quick. Like
they've got a lot of talent on their team. They were missing Landon DuPont on Friday night as well. He's headed to the World Under-17 Challenge, so he'll be out for about a week. But he was out of the lineup. But they've got some great goaltending. They've got a lot of talent in front of them. A lot of guys that can score, which is that's dangerous for any team that's playing them.
Just like the last time we played Everett, again, we lost 5-2. We at least gave them a bit of a game. I mean, it wasn't a cakewalk. We've been playing them pretty tough. We just haven't been beating them.
We have. The first period was 1-1. They scored a couple goals in the second period. Scored another one early in the third to kind of put their foot on the gas. Got a good one later in the third period, but I think by then, against a team like Everett, it's just you're out of time.
And another team that's playing really good hockey right now in the Western Conference is Tri-City. They've taken off.
They were winning, I think, 8 in a row when they took on Everett on Sunday night. So Everett had won 7 in a row, a clash of titans in the Western Conference. So the 2 of the hottest teams in the league are right in our backyard. We knew both of those teams. We knew there was going to be a lot of talent in the U.S. division this year. So the fact that a couple of teams are really taken off at this point of the year, not a surprise to us.
That was Friday. On Saturday, the Edmonton Oil Kings came to town, first ever game against the Wenatchee Wild. We're going to roll highlights. Austin, you're going to go ahead and narrate the highlights as we show the activity from the Town Toyota Center. Austin, I'm going to ask you to use the monitor here in our studio. You folks at home, please use your televisions, if you don't mind, as we roll footage from Saturday night's victory. Do we have that? And maybe we don't have that. Ah, there we go. It's all yours, bud.
I mean, I don't get to use my memory on all 10 goals that were scored, including this one from Dawson Seitz. Right off the goaltender, right back in the back of the net. Come on down. Dawson Seitz, you're the next one on the score sheet as he comes by on the stick side to make it a 1-0 score. Landon Young with a nice sweep out of the back end to get it all started, but Johnny on the spot finishes it off to make it 1-0. Beginning of the power play. 2 minutes left in the first period. The Wild get 2 minutes to score on a 2-minute power play. They didn't need it. They just needed the 5-second shot right down the slot. Miles Cooper with the finish. Don't get comfortable in the penalty box because you're going to hop right back out. And this one is a 2-0 contest. Reed Andreessen right to the middle of the slot. Miles Cooper takes care of the rest of the work. And Evan Friesen in front just in case there happens to be a rebound. But wait, there's more. Glove save and a nice one right along the ice from Daniel Hauser. Not the first or the only he would make that night, with 32 saves in the contest. First game back after 3 weeks on the injured list. Daniel Hauser.
Good to have him back.
Very good to have him back. Very good to have Evan Friesen ready to go as well. Kenta Iso guy at the point. Seth Tansom, I'll give this one a try. You take care of the rest. Evan Friesen with the tip and the tally. 3.5 minutes into the second period. It's a 3-0 contest. Take a second look at it. Right at the net. Net front presence. Yep. That's going to get you goals a lot. But Edmonton, far from dead. They come back. Fat out front. Wrist shot and a goal right on the edge of the slot to make this one a 3-1 game. Marshall Finney, catch and release.
Daniel Hauser is very good. That's just a tough one.
That's always a tough one to go after. Daniel Hauser doing his best. It's a 3-1 game. Stolen away. Wild clear this one down the ice. Are they going to be able to get this one back? Not quite. Stretched ahead. Grayson Souchin took about 3 steps. Tall guy, big strides, and finds the back of the net with a shot into the corner to make this one a 3-2 game.
Shot. That's just a good, solid hockey shot right there.
That is a good hockey shot from Grayson Souchin to make it a 3-2 game. Wild battling for it on the end boards, and take a look at Evan Friesen, bottom of the screen, too late.
Johnny on the spot.
4-2 score, sends that one right into the top corner of the net, and the Wild up by 2 once again. Got to mark those guys. There he is, and there it goes.
Looks like the whole team is around the net.
5 different players all scratching for that one on the end boards, and played out high. Evan Friesen puts the Wild back up by a couple. Toward the end of the period, in the back of in the net again, Daniel Hauser says, "That's a great corner of the net. Be a shame if someone took it away from you." Daniel Hauser with a glove save to keep this one.
Sound effect.
A 2-goal game. Massive save for Daniel Hauser in that moment. Keep this one a 2-goal game going to the third period. Keep the momentum on the Wild side. Back to a 1-goal game again, though, as this one gets popped in on the second chance to make it a 4-3 contest. Chance from that near face-off circle. And we'll get another aerial look at it.
That was really the wake-up call, because from this point forward, Wenatchee just put their foot to the metal.
They really did. 3 goals in the third period, and this one was one of them. Never give up on a play. Miles Cooper, that one's in the net, and just in case you're not sure, the referee says, those are the guys who scored. And it's a 5-3 game with a point into the corner. Take another look at this one as they show the...
How does the guy who rings the bell can even see at this point? I mean, I know he's got laser eyes, or she, but I mean, I didn't see the puck go in or break the line.
Well, they're directly behind the net, so as soon as that puck goes over the line, they've got a perfect view of it.
Kudos to them.
2-goal game, 6 minutes left, and another rebound chance. This one, a long one way out front. Miles Cooper again. Is that his third goal? Are you sure that's his third goal?
Where are the hats?
Somebody check the hat. Somebody check the app. Where are the hats? Eventually there would be hats, but not in time to show them on the replay. Miles Cooper, this long rebound out front. This one a good 15-footer, and Miles Cooper puts it away. Hudson Perry doing his best to keep that one in front of it. Kept it in front of him, but too far out there. And the Wild picked this one off on the face-off. Dawson Seitz on the run, 2-on-1. How's that for a finish? Not just to the play, but to the hockey game. 2-on-1, Dawson Seitz, 7-3 final score. And the Wild finish this one off very, very nicely. Season high for scoring. They tie the season high with a 7-1 game against Seattle in the opening game of the season. One more look, just so you remember this one. And we'll let the crowd tell you the rest. Dan?
2, 1. Pretty good.
Wild win. Wild win.
What happens
Drive
to
home
the
safe.
hats? A player scores a hat trick, the hats come flying out, the crew comes out and picks them all up. Then what?
I believe we hang on to them, and fans can come by and
pick them up.
Pick them up.
I was curious about that. Thought I'd ask.
We've actually sent out calls probably middle of May, both of the seasons that I've been out here, to say, we still have your hat. Please pick up your hat.
Here's an idea. Write your name on the hat, like under the bill or something that way, or your cell phone number or something, so they can send you a text. Daniel Hauser, he's good to have back. He's third in the league, in the entire WHL. Third in goals against average. He's fourth in save percentage. It's good to have this guy back between the pipes. This could be a changer for this team.
It's good to have him back, and I think it's an emotional lift for the guys too. You know, your top two goaltenders are out of the lineup, and your Zach Zahara is not a bad third goaltender by any means, but you're getting by with your third and your fourth goaltender, and you're trying to score enough and get some big saves from them just to keep you in games and to win a few along the way. And to have Daniel back, I think is it's going to be big for this club. Number one, because of the emotional lift, but he's got the talent to steal you a few games. He stole us a few big saves in those highlights we just saw.
I think he's going to climb higher and higher up the goalie statistics as he's going to see more action. He's already, again, in the top 5 in 2 of the more critical categories. Made a couple of player moves since the last time I saw you, one on Halloween and a couple of days ago. Talk about some of the personnel shifts that have happened.
Yeah, so we moved Hayden Moore over to Victoria. Deegan McMillan comes in. He's a tall forward. He's 6'2", and a kid that can score. He knows the U.S. division real well because he played 170 games in Tri-City over the last 3 years. So he knows the division really well. I think he's going to be a big help for this team, and I hope Hayden does real well over in Victoria too. We want to see him succeed in his new home. I know Deegan had played about half of the game so far for Victoria, hadn't picked up a point, so we're hoping that comes back for him when he comes in. And some draft picks being moved around this past week as well. We traded a draft pick out to Edmonton for Easton Mannix, one of the defensemen who played against his old team on Saturday night. Another big defenseman. He's 6'3", and came into the lineup, was on the ice for the first time on Friday, and was in the starting lineup on Saturday. Hadn't really gotten a chance to get into the system, into the structure, and the way this group plays, and I think that may have worked to his advantage a little bit. He's able to not overthink his game, and for at least first couple of nights, just go out and play. Go out and have fun. Make the simple plays. Make the plays that you know need to be made, and trust your teammates will pick up the rest. That was one of the nice things about the game on Saturday was all 20 guys, I would say, including Zach Zahara, on the bench just in case, were able to sit back in the locker room, as Coach Clark told me after the game, and they were able to sit back in the locker room at the end of the night and say, I had some good shifts tonight. I had a help and a part in winning this game.
Is it me, or is Bliss Littler, the general manager, really starting to bank some big-time draft picks? We're going to have a lot of draft picks in the next couple of years, aren't we? Don't we? I mean, that seems to be what the trend is right now.
We've moved some mid-round draft picks to bring in the guys that we had. We've moved some mid-round draft picks for the guys like Zach Zahara, and we've moved a few other guys along the way. Seth Tansom, I think, was a mid-round draft pick going the other way. But as far as the high draft picks, those are right now we're hanging on to those because we need to make sure that we've got those draft picks to bring in guys that are going to help build our team over the next few years. The Kalen Joderies, the Boston Tates. Those are the guys that are really going to step up and 2, 3, 4 years down the line, hopefully win us a cup.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the beast, but it's going to be, Wenatchee's going to be the exception. In the Western Hockey League, we see this almost every year. A team is really good one year, makes a deep run into the playoffs. The next year, they can't skate their way out of a paper bag because they went for it. And then so it's a real swing. That's not the Bliss Littler way of doing things. He wants to be consistently good year after year, and in order to do that, you have to have a pool of talent coming in to replenish the talent that ages out.
And that's, I think, some where your scouting comes in as well. Your scouting and your general manager, they team up. I think to be able to go out and get guys who might be diamonds in the rough, guys who step up when you send in a mid-round draft pick, fifth, sixth-round draft pick, and a guy really comes in with a lot of upside and plays up to that. I think those are the guys that we're aiming for right now. Guys that we can get for a mid-round draft pick, maybe a later round draft pick, or a player in between. We picked up a seventh-round pick with the Hayden Moore with the trade on Saturday. But to have guys who can come in and, I don't want to use the word overplay their original draft selection, but guys that have a lot of upside and take advantage of it while they're here, learn from the coaching that we're able to provide them, and really step up to the plate and learn for us and play for us. I think those are the guys that really will become valuable contributors for our team. They're going to make 3 years down the line, are going to make people say, hey, that was a really good deal. You guys really came out on the high end of that deal.
We have a great scouting department. By we, I mean the Wenatchee Wild. I'm not a scout. And they have geographic locations that they're in charge of, because you can only look at so much tape. But when you're a scout, you sometimes just have to see these people play in person to see some of the intangibles that you can't see on tape.
Absolutely. That's why we've got 5 really, really good provincial scouts up in Canada. Lee Mendelson's talking with those guys all the time. He's watching tape on the Canadian players. He's watching tape on the U.S. players that might show some interest in playing in the Western Hockey League. So we've got a real talented scouting department. It's got a very good eye for the game and a good eye for those intangibles that are going to show you. Maybe the numbers don't say everything that needs to be said about a kid.
Exactly. We're home Friday. The Red Deer Rebels are in town on Friday. Have we ever played Red Deer? Did we play Red Deer last year up there?
We played Red Deer up there last year.
Okay.
We played them on a weekend with Edmonton and Calgary.
That's right.
So
Red Deer in town on Friday, and then Saturday our rivals, or one of our rivals, the Portland Winterhawks, will be in town. Friday is Proud to be an American night, and Saturday, Military Appreciation Night. Both crowds are going to be big, but Saturday is going to be a really cool atmosphere at the TTC.
Saturday really will be. Military Appreciation Night is always one of our biggest nights. CMI Orchards is always, we're always happy to have them partnering with us on that night, but it'll be a Military Appreciation Night. We'll have some extra pomp and circumstance surrounding the game. Those 1,000 tickets that David was able to sell on the patio at the TTC, those will be used that night as well. So hoping to see a lot of veterans, a lot of military folks out at the game on Saturday night. We'll have hats to give away from CMI as well.
About the giveaway. Okay.
Yep. So we'll have that. We'll have our special jersey auction that night. Guys will be wearing their jerseys Friday and Saturday. So we're looking forward to that one. That one will be one of our biggest crowds of the year, maybe the biggest one, at least up to the first of the year.
And remember, it's always Military Appreciation Night and Proud to be an American Night, usually right around when the closest home game we have to Veterans Day, which of course is Monday, which is also cool because it's November 11th is a Monday this year, and that works out great. A lot of people have a 3-day weekend. So Red Deer in town Friday, Portland on Saturday. Tickets at WenatcheeWildHockey.com, WenatcheeWildHockey.com. Let's get to 2-0 over the weekend and build our way up. I mean, we're 16 games in. We're 5-9, 2-0. Still a lot of hockey to go, Austin. I'll let you close. You got about a minute to close it out. Buddy.
Yeah, we got 52 games left. We talked about it last week. 54-game season in the BCHL. The last one didn't start all that great, and we end up with a winning record. We win that first-round playoff series. So a lot can happen. We're getting some guys back from injuries right now. We've got our top goaltender back. Number 2 goaltender is right at the precipice of coming back. We've got one of our more physical defensemen, more experienced defenseman back in Sam Ward. So we've got a lot coming back for this group right now. I think having that 6-game homestand is nice. The guys are able to continue to make those improvements, do that learning with a familiar routine, and they're all 2-game weeks, so a lot of practice time can be moved in there as well. It's a good routine right now. I think it all comes at a good time for this group.
The first 1,000 Saturday night get a hat from
Yes.
CMI? Okay, so if you're, we're going to have more than 1,000 people at Town Toyota Center on Friday night, so you don't want to be number 1,002 when you're out of luck and you don't get a hat. Don't be doing that, because you're going to want the hat. Austin Friday, see you again next week.
Sounds good.
Can you stick around for the all-important weather forecast? He's our staff meteorologist. He's not our staff meteorologist. The forecast is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Flessenow is a small village in Germany, the heritage home to the Bruders family. Today, the Bruders family call Leavenworth home and make award-winning wines that celebrate the American dream. New Flessenow Cellars has spectacular views anywhere around the property, so bring your friends to taste award-winning handcrafted wines and seasonal specialties. New Flessenow is perfect for any celebration. From their family to yours, stop by this weekend and experience the charm for yourself.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders, or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
So what am I looking at here?
That is what great power looks like.
Tell me more.
It's called hydropower. Hydropower uses water and gravity to generate electricity. Since the fuel for hydropower is water, it has 0 emissions and it's renewable. It also works when it's not sunny or windy. And it's the cheapest power we can make.
So it's clean, renewable, reliable, and affordable? And hydropower is all 4?
Only hydropower is all 4. And you can learn more about it at the Schland PUD Discovery Center at Rocky Reach Dam.
Have you been to Rocky Reach Dam? They just played the Discovery Center ad. You know, they redid the whole visiting area.
Yeah,
where
I haven't been out there yet.
You really? You should, because I know you've been, one of the things that you did when you moved out here from Iowa was to, you know, once you got settled in, it was to get to know the area. I know you've traveled a lot,
Yeah.
you've gone to different areas to learn about the Pacific Northwest, but you haven't gone to the Rocky Reach Discovery Center?
I haven't gotten there yet.
So they don't have a lot of dams, hydroelectric dams out there in Iowa, do they?
We don't. We actually, we've got a couple of reservoirs, flood control. But hydroelectric is something we haven't done a ton of.
Isn't Iowa huge in wind power, right?
Yes.
Isn't that their big thing?
Yeah, I think Iowa, is either per capita the largest. I think Texas is the only one bigger, and Texas is really big. So we'll take per capita.
So it's naturally windy in Iowa? Yeah. Okay. No wind here, folks. None to worry about from the National Weather Service. Nothing but sunshine. We're done with the wind. The big wind event didn't really happen yesterday. They let the high wind warning kind of just peter out. 54 today, a little residual wind from whatever's left, but it's already on its way to Montana, and they can have it. 31 for the overnight low. We do it all over Wednesday, sunshine and 50 degrees. We do it all over again Thursday, sunshine and 51 degrees. That's just a little bit above normal. You can see the overnight lows dipping down below freezing for the next couple of nights. And then on Friday, most of the day, bountiful sunshine. It's not going to be until late Friday, right around, say, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening, when the clouds will start rolling in. By Friday sleeping time, it'll be raining with an overnight low of 37. Pretty much rain most of the day. Saturday, it looks that way anyway, and a high of 51. 36 for the overnight low. Does it rain in Iowa?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to rain Saturday night and on into Sunday. It looks like I'm going to be making some chili or a casserole, and I will enjoy not watching the Seahawks on Sunday. It's going to be a good day with a high of 49. And on Veterans Day, it looks like it may rain on the Veterans Day parade with partly sunny, but some rain at a high of 49. That's it for us. Don't forget, vote early and vote often. We will have results on our webpage tonight. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.